Welcome, welcome to day 22 of the 31 days of I Am Transformation. I am literally, this book is falling apart because I've been using it so much. This Your Time is at Hand book. I'm going to be using for the next 4 days, information and I am statements and kind of allowing directly from that book, just because it's a really powerful book that came through. So I have a feeling that this is pretty glitchy on Facebook, but we'll just go with it. It's so this statement, this aspect, and she suggests going in and doing some pranic breathing while saying the I am statement, I am that I am, and really connecting to our spirit. So allowing for that to be the case. I'm gonna see. So allowing for this rhythmic breathing to happen, having a 5 to 7 second breath in, holding for just a moment and releasing for 5 to 7 seconds, and having these even pranic breaths. When we were doing the Merkaba activation, these rhythmic breaths, these rhythmic pranic breaths actually help activate the Merkaba. And so throughout all of this aspects, our breathing is what breathes in the breath and breathes out the spirit or the release of it. So as breathing in 7 seconds, I want our thoughts to be on I am that I am. Okay, so breathing in, so we're going to do this. Let's breathe in for 7 seconds. Breathe in. Hold at the top and then breathe out for 7 seconds. Breathe in with the thought of I am that I am, holding at the top and releasing all that is not the I am that I am. Breathing in, I am that I am. Breathing out, releasing. Breathing in, I am that I am. And out, releasing. I'm going to read the other I am statements that go along with this exercise and just continue that deep rhythmic pranic breathing, breathing in the I am statements, releasing anything that is not of the I am statements. On the breath in, I am renewing my mind. And release. I am lifting up my vision to see myself as the divine sees me. Releasing everything else. I am radiantly healthy and filled with joy and peace. I am whole, perfect, and complete. I go about my business with an uplifted consciousness of health and true well-being. I live the truth of health. I am reprogramming my consciousness on a mental level. I am also continuing my health work in the physical world of form. My thoughts and actions are harmonious and balanced. I eat and exercise properly and affirm perfect health, knowing the health of my body affects my mind. I am the physical image of my mental atmosphere. I am aware of the total interrelationship of mind, body, and spirit in creating a state of well-being in myself. My God presence perceives only perfection in me. I am the will of God in individual expression. I am seeing my 4 lower bodies, physical, etheric, mental, and emotional, as my God presence sees them, perfect and raised into my light body. My life is the divine's life, and the divine's life is perfect. And to close out, we'll just take some of these deep pranic breathings on the inhale with the statement, I am that I am. And the exhale is a release. So what a shift, just breathing, right? It's amazing when we just take time. So it suggests to do that in breath, that pranic breath of I am that I am, saying that on the in breath and then releasing on the out breath for 15 minutes every day for a week. And I've been doing this since we were in Utah. So I'm on the 4th week of it now. So we'll do each one of these. So if this is something that you're feeling like you could really integrate is this pranic breathing, it's so simple, yet carving out 15 minutes to do it is sometimes seems impossible. Yet I'm like, I can spend 15 minutes on TikTok. I can spend 15 minutes on TikTok effortlessly. So creating space, and maybe I just need to make a 60-second one of these TikToks and then watch it over and over again 15 times, right? That way for me while I'm on there, because that's how I get stuck. I get stuck in like, I have to create things for others because then I use them. I don't know if this makes sense or resonates with you too, but I think a lot of us create content, and if we don't have a community or a tribe or ourselves, there's some people that can create things for themselves, and they have these individual human design channels. They're here as either a hermit or as a creative rebel and can really get into these, or the opportunist has these really individualized profiles and channels, and that allows for them to create content for themselves. I do not have that. So if I am not working with you guys, if I am not working with a tribe or a community, I don't create content for myself. So I have to be creating and sharing and giving and offering. Otherwise, I've noticed that my work stops. I don't do the work. So this is important to understand in your design. Is your design created or made to share this work? So, sorry, I'm just closing down the Facebook that has stopped live streaming anyway. Okay. Let me open the chat. Yeah, you are a creative rebel in your design, right? So the creative rebel is great with strangers, or not great with strangers, right? You need a really close circle. You have your people, you have your community that feels like, and so there's people that are made to work with strangers, that are made to work with tons of people. They're the networkers. They're the people that can go to those networking parties and like meet everybody and have such an amazing time. And then there's people that have their people, you know, that like, I think of Joanna DeVoe when I think of this, is like she has her people and she is constantly finding her people. She is not for the world. She doesn't want to be for the world. Like she knows her design very well in that. So I used to think that I was for the world. I'm not. You know, Elon Musk is for the world. Everybody in the world knows Elon Musk. Do you know what so like there's certain people in their design that are just made. Trump, the entire world knows him. Whether it's just, it is what it is. That's in his design. So in our designs, knowing if we are for the world, for a community or a tribe, or for ourselves individually, that is an important right. It doesn't matter what you think of him, right? Like energetically, he is a trigger for both, for everybody, no matter what. Even if you like him, he still triggers this thing inside of you. You know, he like spurs something, whatever it is, whatever aspect it is. Like it's not about being for or against him. So my friend Linda did a human design on Biden and Trump, and they are both living their designs like to a T, which is really interesting. So once we start seeing this dynamic play of people living their designs, this aspect of division goes away, because it's not about choosing a side. They're living their design. Are we? Do you know what I mean? Like as soon as we start living our design, then we're just a piece of that puzzle that can then interject and create a new way, a new aspect. So the more of us that are living our design, the more these puzzle pieces get fit together, and then a new reality, a new dimension, the new shifts can come in, because we're not going to be triggered. We're going to go, oh, they're living their design. Well, I'm living my design, and we're bringing in a whole new structure, right? So with the astrological report that Lindsay shared with me, and I posted in the Magical Mothering Facebook group, there's big shifts happening in with this lunar eclipse that is happening. Big changes, okay? And there's going to be another one in December of 2020, another Sagittarius lunar eclipse that is going to complete. So from May 26th until December of this year, huge changes. So I want you to be aware that this could be the government, this could be the education, this could be the health, this could be, so be aware that yes, we are going to have big changes individually within us, but there's also going to be probably some pretty massive like shakeups happening, because this has already started with what has been going on with COVID. So like this ride is not done because we're pulling our entire system into a whole new dimension. I keep feeling like I need to share this. So I heard this crazy thing on TikTok, of course, about how the Mayan calendar ended in 2012, correct? So we were supposed to have an ending in 2012, and there's this kind of rippling happening that we did have an ending in 2012 and we upgraded to the fourth dimension, which is why we're now seeing all of these what is that effect called where like the Monopoly guy had the monocle like when we were growing up, but he doesn't have it now, like it's gone. So mandala effect, right? So there's a lot of this mandala effect happening because we're not in that same dimension anymore. We've actually shifted into an entirely new dimension, and so that is still the same thing. So look into this if you're interested in some like really rabbit hole kind of conspiracies with all the mandala effects of like us growing up. And then this aspect that in 2012 everything shifted and we came into a whole new space. And so if you look at what has happened since 2012, we have been able to 4D sounds about right. And so we've shifted in, like Zion was born in 2011, Skyen was born in 2012. They're very different, right? There's this aspect of the beings are even a little bit different. If your kids were born after 2012, they are 4D individuals. So there's a really neat kind of thing going on where it just kind of was like, anything's possible. Okay, so with that, with these aspects, with these I am statements, really the whole goal of me doing this is to create a remembering process that we are the divine. We no longer are separate. I just read that book of longings. Amazing. So Karen recommended the Sue Monk Kid book, The Book of Longings, and I read it in like 2.5 days, and it was incredible. And it's amazing because you remember the Jesus that came shared this same message. You know, he spoke as, I am the Son of God. Yes, you cannot say that I am the Son of God without saying I am. So I am the daughter of God. And so in this story, there is a parallel that there is a daughter of God that was married to Jesus. So it's controversial in this way that we are all the sons and daughters of God. And Christ consciousness is that, this adorning ourselves and remembering our divinity and what we truly have. And so, of course, because we're still human, we get to live in this beautiful world of simulations and experiences and others and triggers, so that we can create our own abilities, so that we can really solidify, step into our design and say, okay, here is where I can help illuminate others, just like we did yesterday with that I am the flame and I am its light. And then going in today and really reprogramming our mental state with this I am that I am, and reprogramming all the stuff that's up here, all the anxiety, the future thinking, all of that kind of stuff, and really staying in our space here. The social media confirmation bias and algorithms is all 4D. Yeah, it's like, it's this aspect of the more control that they're losing because people are becoming aware, the more chaos will be created to keep people stuck in the drama. because that's a huge generational theme for so many of us, is this triggers and drama. Keep us triggered and keep us in a new drama, and they'll keep the control of us. And so there's a lot of interesting things coming out that they are now controlling, the weather. They're controlling all of these aspects. And the more that we release the fear and step into our design, the more that we will be in that divine feminine flow of avoiding or being in the perfect time at the perfect, there was tornadoes and rain and all this stuff while we were supposed to cross the country for 10 days. That's all that was in the forecast, was tornadoes and thunderstorms. And Travis, being a manifester, is very strong in his divine feminine. He is actually very strong in his flow. And so we'd be going and he's like, nope, we're going to stay here for another day. And me, I'm like, I want to get on, I have things to do, and I'm like, I am in that masculine a lot of time and action, and and he was like, we're staying. I'm like, okay. I've learned now that he is much more in tune with that divine feminine of listening when to stay, when to go, when to be in the flow. Whereas I have always taken care of all the analytical, financial, business stuff, that I have to put that aside and go, oh yeah, no, that does feel right. So we actually, we got one hail plop on the bus, one hail. And that was it. And we missed every single storm across the entire country, traveling from Arizona to Illinois. So it works when you work it. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a AA slogan. It works when you work it, but it does. It works when you put it into practice. And so I'm excited about doing more human design. I'm excited about creating more of this healing with our human design, because I really had to come to terms with it, and I'm excited to share that aspects of it. So if anybody has anything that they would like to share, I will say goodbye to this recording.